Hello Tower Guy friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blahai here, and it's time for another work mode workout. And today was max effort press day. We went with closed grip bench press again. First time I've gone over 300 again after doing a lot of rep work, rehabbing my lower back, all this other stuff. I went 305, then I went 315 a month ago. This is the first time in 4 weeks. So 4 weeks ago I hit a heavy single, went up 5 pounds. Right, managed to ramp up to a 320. Now, do I feel like I probably could have gone a little heavier? Probably so, but I don't want to get greedy here. I feel like with the fact that I'm not bulky, I'm not in a calorie surplus, not gaining weight anymore, and I need to rebuild a bit of the strength that I lost with all that cutting before I continue to drop the scale again, which again will happen by the end of the year. But I'm not going to bulk, and that's kind of the thing that people need to remember. The scale isn't going up. I'm staying under 220. Staying under 220. That's the goal. And to get as strong as possible in that category and then to come down. So I got 320 with a closed grip. And here's where I have to assess all my max stuff day to day. And I have to look at all my weak points and be honest about them, just like I did with the squat yesterday. Right? We know where my squat weakness is. My bench press, even though I'm closed grip right now, and I will eventually start going wider, the 320, it was fast off the chest. That's no surprise. That's no surprise. I actually have a pretty big chest, reasonable sized chest. I've been doing all my dynamic effort work with floor presses from a dead stop. So it's no surprise I'm strong off the chest, but notice about a third of the way from the top, right? We come up, looks good, right there, slows down. And it felt hard. I struggled to drive through. My triceps are a weak link. Now, that's what I've said already, that my triceps are a weak link. So I'm going to address that today, and instead of doing the general overall tricep work that I've been doing, I'm recognizing that that's a weak link in my bench, so I'm going to hammer on bench specific accessories for the triceps, right? And that's what we need to do. We have to address all of our weaknesses. And you know what? If I bring up those aspects of my triceps, that's fine. The whole thing will grow. Doesn't mean I'm going to completely ignore the long head and other stuff going on. But I need to address my weaknesses. And to be honest, my press is stronger than my bench right now. So we have to be honest about all of that. Pull-ups. Pull-ups. These were tough today. I'm not going to lie. These were harder than the benching was. These were harder than the benching. So I've been alternating back and forth between trying to build to a max triple on the pull-up and the chin-up. Again, every other max effort workout. Now, last time I managed to get a triple was 70 pounds with a chin-up, but the time before on the pull-up I was not able to get 3 reps with this weight. So we're going to take PRs wherever we can get them, even on 3 rep maxes on lifts like this. I'm going to take them where I can get them. This wasn't too bad. This actually left my biceps throbbing, and that's one of the things I've noticed, that my biceps actually are struggling with recovery. That's one reason I cut the cheek curls out. It just feels like all the face pulls and the dynamic rowing and all this stuff, it feels like my biceps are just on fire when I do the weighted pull-ups or chin-ups. They don't feel like they ever fully recover. And I feel like the load on these lifts just is tremendous on them. But, you know, biceps have never been my strong suit. So this was really tough. I got my 3 reps. I'm going to count it. Third one was hard. The third one might even be questionable, but I'm going to mark it. And hopefully we can improve on it from there. But what I am going to say, I weighed 217 on the scale this morning before breakfast, but I've eaten food and I have my boots on now. I'm probably 220 plus. Probably over 220. So this is 290 plus for a triple. And yeah, that was tough. Now I might stick with this same weight and see if I can get a little higher and get my chin further up over. Next time, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. These are, again, they're just difficult. Coming from that dead hang from the bottom, at the sort of body weight I'm at doing weighted pull-ups, they're not easy by any means. In fact, that was actually harder than my bench was, even though the bench was supposed to be a max. Pressing. Decided, you know, I could do some extra bench stuff or floor press, but now I need to work on my press, because coming up within the next 2 weeks, we're going to hit a max on the press and we need to hit a PR. So a little bit of heavy work for volume. You know, do 180 for a few doubles. I did 5 doubles with it. Again, and actually I felt that tremendously in my upper chest. You know, I felt it tremendously in my upper chest. And surprisingly not in my triceps. Well, it's the thing I've been saying, that I feel like on my press that my triceps and the long head have been a weak link. Well, I've been working on them a lot for a couple weeks now, and I don't actually really feel my triceps at all, that long head at all on the press, which means the strength there might be balancing out. Now, my triceps still need to get a lot bigger. They're still a weak link in general, so I'm going to have to do a lot of tricep focus probably for a long time. Probably going to have to. Particularly to get my press back up and to get my bench up and all these things. You know, my triceps are just my weak link in my upper body in general. As far as these lifts go, now obviously my thoracic erectors and things are a problem on my bench, or my squatting, and we'll keep working that. But again, I just wanted to get a little extra heavy volume in today as an assistance on my bench day, because again, I know I do a lot of volume on the press on my dynamic day. But I felt like today I wanted to get this in, and next week I might not do these because I'm probably going to try to hit a max floor press again in PR, and then I'll do back off bench work. That'll probably fit into this slot here coming up next week. And that's what people need to remember when you're looking at training like this. This is again how we get around things like the law of adaptation, minor changes in loading. Doing stuff like some of your main exercises that you're focusing on that you'll do maxes on is back off work later behind your other big lifts. Or if you do a floor press, doing your actual flat bench as an accessory later in the workout, that's fine. Even though you're still working a lot of the same lifts, what are you doing? We're varying the loading. We're varying the loading. Minor things like a 1-inch difference on your deficit deadlifts. That's how you get around this stuff. JM press. I did the rest of the workout. I did 6 sets of JM presses. Why the JM press? Because it's specific to the bench. And what did we notice? I tried to do it the other day, and I was extremely weak at the JM press. Right? The JM press, even relative to my bench press, is weak. What does that tell you? That says that it's working muscles in a movement pattern that is probably what's limiting my bench press. So if you have something that you know is a weakness, and in this case, a JM press, a basic powerlifting accessory for the bench, I'm extremely weak at it. Right? I was struggling with sets of 6 on this a couple weeks back. Now, granted, I did 5 10s, and then I managed to squeeze out like 13 by taking my time on the final set. So come in and just get strong at something. Throw a lot of volume in a movement like this. That volume will hypertrophy everything, and then I'll try to get stronger at it and bring the weight up on it. And here's what I'm going to say. This is indicative that the lateral and medial heads of my tricep are a weak link on my bench. Because I can do that other skull crusher with the same weight that I was struggling. I can do more reps with a skull crusher, the one that involves the long head, than I was able to do with a JM press. The JM press is technically a bigger movement. That really says that my lateral and medial head of my triceps are really, really a weak link in my bench. And they are. Look down near my elbow. That area is also not thick enough. That area needs to come up. I need to make it bigger. I need to make it stronger. Really, they're the same thing. So attack it. Attack it. And that's kind of the point. Notice I don't come in and I don't do 7 different tricep exercises. We come in and address our weakness. We saw it on the bench press. We saw right there that my triceps were the weak link on the bench. And since I don't want to go to dynamic effort benching with bands just yet, let's address it directly. We have recovery left. We can come in and do an accessory movement. Come in and just hammer that accessory movement. Come in and do a lot of volume with it. 6 sets. 6 sets of an accessory. I don't think that's a problem. You know, we technically did 2 heavy singles that were, you know, over 300 pounds on the close grip. Did 5 sets of overhead press. That's technically 7 sets. So this 6 more, that gives us 13 work sets for the triceps. 7 of which were heavy and 6 were pretty high volume. Now, because this is a smaller movement, we can get away with this with concurrent training. This shouldn't interfere significantly with my dynamic effort day. It shouldn't interfere. As long as we don't try to do anything too heavy, it'll be fine. So again, you see the weakness and address it. Okay, this is what's limiting my bench. My triceps are a limiting factor in my bench. Now, we could argue, some people say, well, your chest could be too. Well, it could be. But I'm also doing pretty much a floor press to where I touch my chest for my dynamic work. 12 sets every week. My pecs are getting addressed good. My speed off the chest is actually being addressed just fine. This is a weakness that we can identify. So go ahead and focus on that weakness until it's no longer a weakness. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.